Hey, what's up, everyone? It is Mark from the New Wave of Traditional Heavy Metal. We have a great video interview with us today. We have Dee Wrathchild of Sacred Leather with us. Dee,
That's
welcome.
me. Thank you. Good to be
You,
here.
you are joining us from the great state of Indiana.
The wonderful state of Indiana. Yes.
Well, I think the good news is that you're putting metal on the map in a completely different place, and that's awesome. I love that.
Yes. Yeah. I definitely can get behind that because yeah, it's in it's a small scene here, and in particular for more traditional style heavy metal, there's not a lot of it that exists here. So it's my job to raise the torch.
The founding forefathers of metal in Indiana. You got a new album out, Keep the Fire Burning.
Yeah, well, it's not out yet, but it's coming.
Oh,
Yes.
you've got a new album that's coming out. Keep the
Yeah,
Fire Burning.
yes, the actual release date is Friday, December 12th.
December 12th. Oh, so we're far away from that. I'm sorry. I thought it was available.
It's
So
okay. No, we've released well today we released the second single. So with you guys premiered the second
the
single.
the first single, I believe, was Spitfire at Night.
Correct.
What's the second single?
The second single is called Phantom Highways.
Phantom Highways. I love it. Let's go travel some Phantom Highways and see if we can get
Yes.
some scary shit going on here in October.
Yeah, well, yes. It's a very fitting song for the month of October.
Well, I will look forward to the album coming out in December, but I will tell you that Spitfire at Night and Phantom Highways are absolute awesome songs. A question that I have is, how does music come together for you guys? How do you guys collaborate and make music?
Well, it's we we're very lucky to have two, which is Magnus
Hmm.
and Mike
Yep.
in the band, and they are both just like songwriting machines. So there's never a shortage of material to work with in this band. So basically, with this recent record, I mean, we had shit, man, probably 20 or 30 songs um, that were in their infant, structures. And then we just we whittled it down to the ones we wanted to do for this record. And then just kind of collaboratively piece them together. And then, I do a lot of the lyric writing, but also Magnus does a lot of the lyric writing as well. And he and I work together a lot on the vocal aspect of things, as well as him and Mike both being phenomenal songwriters.
So when you say that you had 20 or 30 songs that were sort of at the start or the beginning stages, is that a melody? Is that a riff? Or,
It's
is it
it's literally like they will just piece together a complete song in an instrumental version. And then, once I start getting into writing the vocal melodies and the lyrics, then we might have to be like, okay, well, let's take this part and let's repeat it for like 8 or 16 more bars because the verse needs to go a little longer, or vice versa, or the chorus, or let's rearrange it to put a bridge here, or.
so it seems to me that in that process, collaboration seems to come fairly easy for you guys. I mean,
It does.
sometimes being in a band is like a lot of friction. There's a lot of disagreement that's going on, but it seems to me
Yeah.
like you guys got the collaboration thing down.
This current lineup of the band, because it has changed a bit here and there through the years, is like the strongest we've ever been in as a unit, and live, like everything is just firing on all cylinders right now.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. Now is the time. I mean, the new wave of traditional heavy metal doesn't stir up things, but who's the most difficult one in the band?
I'd say probably Chris or Sivan, our rhythm guitar player, and he's not difficult at all. He's just, if I had to pick one, it would have to be him.
Oh, I'm just stirring up shit because you know what? I'll bet everyone in the band goes, God damn, the singer is the prima donna of the
Yeah.
band.
Oh, I'm sure they would all say for sure I'm the biggest problem.
You're not. Look, I've seen your videos.
Yeah.
You're on point. You're awesome. You got it
Thank
going
you.
on.
Thank you.
So I've watched a couple of videos. I've gone back and I've listened to some of your music, and it's it's very easy to define you as a metal band. But when I sort of go and I'm picking out influences, I can't put my finger on one specific thing. Like I went back and there's Power Thrust. Power Thrust
Mm.
is sort of that's a red-blooded, hot song, and there's a lot of power metal that's back into that. Uruku, if I'm saying the name of that song
Uh,
correctly.
uh, a Roku.
Okay, Oroku.
Close.
Um,
Yeah.
that's pretty much a straight up metal song, but then you get to Spitfire at night and we're off to the races. It's total speed metal. Um,
Yes.
First question I have is,
Mhm.
uh, are you beholden to one thing, or do you feel that the sound of the band is evolving in a specific direction?
I mean, I think we're definitely always evolving as the band progresses. Because on the new record, there are the razor sharp, more speed metal,
Yep.
more painkiller era,
Uh-huh.
priest influence type sound. But I mean, there's straight up, there's a power ballad on there. I mean, we definitely venture into some bluesier territories. It's just really, I say a constant evolution because we're just always kind of just writing what we're feeling.
Yep. I'm not much of a gatekeeper. I'm too old for that shit, but I think
Same.
it's yeah. I mean, I look. I think it's important. I think it's a good show of talent for a band to come through and say, look, here's a speed metal song. Here's a power metal song. Here's some
Yeah,
bluesy groove stuff that you can go through. I like showing the variety. Look, there's nothing wrong with giving me an album. Give me 8 songs of breakneck speed metal. I don't have an issue with that. But when somebody's coming at me with something that's got a little bit of variance in the mix, I'm appreciative of that because I think it just demonstrates the ability that you have in the band. So,
absolutely.
for you personally as a singer, watching you sing on video, but also listening, who's been the biggest influence to you from a vocalist standpoint?
I would say it is a rat race between Rob Halford and David Coverdale.
So the David Coverdale is
Oh,
is is
whoops.
obvious. I love that. That's a great reference, and I think it comes through. You can kind of see it in your movements, or you can kind of see how also if you listen, a little bit of your phrasing is like that. That's awesome. And then of course everybody's influence.
I love that you picked up on that because yeah, Coverdale is like massive for me.
That's awesome. I love it. Um, Musically, from a metal standpoint. We've talked about Judas Priest obviously being an influence, but who are some of the other, metal influences that you had? It looks like you and I might be roughly from the same period of time, so I would assume we've got probably some of the same experience with bands, but, who sort of helped form your love of metal?
Well, with me personally, it all started with Twisted Sister.
Okay.
When I was in grade school, I was like obsessed with the weird, because this was in the age of MTV in the early
Yep.
80s. And I was obsessed with the We're Not Gonna Take It song. I'm like, I was like 8 years old, and my mom's friend brought over the LP for Stay Hungry. And then I just like played that. I'd like tortured my mom with it because I just played it so much. And then that was the hook right there. That's what like made me gravitate towards metal. Obviously, at that time, it was much. It was like massive commercially. I mean, it was on the radio, it was all over the television,
Yep.
and so it made it easy to really embrace it at an early age. And then I went through my years of like getting into the harder stuff, death metal,
Yep.
Slayer, Pantera, all that stuff. And then obviously came full circle with joining Sacred Leather and pushing that. But yeah, I mean, I would say Twisted Sister if I had to pick one band, but like, Def Leppard, Dokken,
Sure.
like Whitesnake, obviously, were all big, major influential bands for me at an early age.
So for me, the gateway started with the Scorpions. Somebody in my family introduced me to Animal Magnetism. But
Oh yeah, my favorite Scorpions record.
oh, just an absolutely unbelievable record. But what got me over the top, speaking of the 80s, it was Come On Feel the Noise by Quiet Riot. Because
Yeah,
that song was everywhere and it
yeah.
was middle school and you just couldn't get away from it. So yeah, that era of music is absolutely unbelievable. Same thing though. There are so many other influences, like I grew up in the time of sort of new wave and goth and everything that sort of happened out that. So,
Which I'm also massively into that stuff as well.
all
So
right, all right. So,
yeah.
so let's hear it. I mean, what are some of your favorites outside of the metal sphere?
Well, I mean, I'm a huge new wave and goth fan. I love Simple Minds.
Yep.
I love the big hooky Oingo Boingo.
Hmm.
And then some of the weirder stuff, Missing Persons, The Fix. Uh, these are all bands I'm naming off because I Devo. These
Yeah.
are all bands I've seen within the last few years. So I'm thinking of the ones that are the most relevant in my brain because I could literally go on forever. And then a lot of the Gossip Sisters of Mercy, Fields of
Yeah.
the Nephilim,
Yeah.
The Mission
The Cult.
UK, The Call, love The Call, Ian Astbury.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah.
Absolutely.
The Chameleons, all the early post-punk stuff from the UK in the early 80s. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, I was definitely the Cult was big for me, New Order, Depeche Mode, a lot of those things. It just I, like I don't give a shit. All of that stuff went hand in hand with metal, right?
Absolutely.
I listened to Iron Maiden and Slayer. I did the same thing where I went down the road of, you get into progressively more harder stuff where it's sort of Slayer and beyond and things of that nature. Um, for you personally, when when you're in that mode and you know you're going to be writing music, where does it come from? Like if a lyric comes to you, like are you in your car and something comes to you and you're like, oh shit, like I've got to speak that into my
Yeah.
phone
I
or
mean, I literally have hundreds and hundreds of voice memos in my phone from either just a melody will pop in my head or a lyric, a song title. It typically starts with me with, I'll find the guys present me with this instrumentals and I'll be like, okay, I know this is going to be the chorus riff. So then let's start thinking about the hook. Let's think about the melody. Okay, we've got the melody. Now let's come up with the words. Okay, now we've got a title. So now let's just write the story around that title.
I forget who I was talking to, but I was talking to someone else and it's like Mark, like, look at my phone. My phone here. Like, look at all these voice notes, and it's like this is me just singing gibberish, singing the melody into my phone, or
Yeah.
me like repeating a line. Like I'll be in my car and I'll have to pull over and I'll have to sort of speak the line 3 or 4 times and then go back to it a little bit later and then kind of put something together. When you guys record music, do you guys do it in one take altogether, or are you splicing together your parts?
So when we demo stuff, we typically just the drums are programmed and we'll do like a pre-production demo. And then, I mean, we're very fortunate that we have like really smart guys in the band that can do most of all of the recording themselves.
Yep.
And like Mike in particular has built like a really amazing home studio for us to record in. And then once the demo gets done, then Don will come in and track the actual drums and they'll start laying down leads and all that stuff, and then we'll basically just take basically the demo version of the vocals just turns into the actual version. And we just keep kind of refining because we just have a setup to where every week when we get together, we can just pop in and start, and start fresh. We want to add some harmonies. We want to do this and that. And yeah, it's a very that's what I mean by like this band is just like a an ultimate force, no pun intended.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So with Keep the Fire Burning, how long did it take you guys to record that end to end? I mean, looking at your process, it sounds like you guys are firing all cylinders. You guys are kind of laying down the law with stuff. How quickly did that album come together for you?
It very fast. So we had a previous lineup and some things weren't working out. Magnus and I, and Don, we decided we wanted to go in a different direction. So we brought Mike and Chris in. And once that happened, I mean, we had an entire record written, I'd say, in about 6 months.
Wow.
And then we just kind of, we were demoing as we were writing and just, working on the demos and basically turning them into the songs that we would then be, they would then be fully tracked and then we sent to the guy who mixed the record.
Talking about Indianapolis, tell me about your hometown crowd.
It's a very small working class city. I mean, well, I say small because it feels small. It's actually like a big city,
Yeah.
but it's just not a big city. It's not big city nights type city. Uh, um, but it's like we're in the Midwest is my dog's going crazy at me. That's why I'm distracted. But the Midwest is, there's all these little, you got Chicago,
Yep.
and then you have a bazillion surrounding cities around it. Um, and the one thing that I think is really special about the Midwest in particular, in all genres of music, is that we lack a lot of like the need to be cool factor of the Los Angeles or the New York City. It's like that doesn't exist as much here. So in return, we just write really great music that doesn't need to have like like we just do what we want to do. Does that make sense?
Oh,
Yeah.
look, I'm a native Californian. I grew up here in Los Angeles, and there are absolutely perks to being here because we get to see all kinds of crazy shows and it's good stuff. But exactly as you say, sort of the bullshit and the pretense is at an all-time high. And I just have to say, right now, where the new wave of traditional heavy metal is at very much an underground phase, and talking to bands, talking to people like you who are just out there working hard to put up music that is beyond that stuff. It's awesome. It's so refreshing. And you push play on the video, you push play on Spitfire at night, and it's like you're right there. You got the leather, you got the spikes, you're making the moves, you're doing the whole thing, and it's like, oh my fucking God, like can't we have this? Where are the bands like this in Los Angeles? Like
Yeah.
let's get this figured out. So how far out of the circle of the Midwest have you been with touring?
Oh, well, I mean, everywhere. I've been, I've done Europe, I've done Mexico, then North America plenty of times because I used to be in another band that was like a full-time touring band.
Oh, nice.
Um, but as far as with Sacred Leather, we've pretty much only done, we've hit the East Coast, we've hit a little south, um, but haven't really had the opportunities yet that we would like to. I mean, we obviously the ultimate goal is to get to Europe, get to
Come
LA.
to the West Coast, come to Los
Yes, yes,
Angeles.
yeah, absolutely. So we're really there's been like a reignition in the band as a result of this record. And I think that over the next couple years, you're going to see us pushing things really hard.
Sacred leather on the marquee of the Whiskey A Go Go upon
It
Sunset.
it it needs to happen.
Absolutely.
I've played there in other bands, but this band needs to play there just because. I mean, if nothing else, because of the way we sound, the way we look, and that club existing. So
I'll do everything in my power to be in the room with you.
excellent.
So, with that said, you have a big year ahead of you coming up in 2026. December, you have this new record that's dropping. It has all the promise in the world with the first two singles. What are your plans for 26?
Um, just really to play anywhere we can within our abilities. Um, and ultimate goal is to hopefully, we really are keeping the fingers crossed for Europe.
Okay.
Um, and because unfortunately, and you already know this, the new wave of traditional heavy metal it's a tough market here in the United
Yep.
States.
Yep.
And it makes it hard to grind
Yep.
full time. You have to be pretty calculated with what you do. Try to get into the festival circuit as much as we can, which is seems to be growing a bit here in the US as far as like, with the Hell's Heroes and festivals like that
Yep.
are catering more to the traditional style of heavy metal.
Yeah, I think festival scene is in really full force here in the States. I'd like to see some more. There's smaller regional ones that seem to be getting some huge acts. We're getting some people coming out. Hey, there's the dog. He's not going crazy now.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
um, but I think, we can do better. Like, come on, Los Angeles is where a lot of this stuff came from. Why aren't we a little more friendly to what's happening? There is an amazing underground scene that is happening here, but it's just, God, it just needs a kick in the ass. Come on, guys,
Yeah.
let's kick it over. So to that end, if people want to follow you and if people want to find out more about the band, when stuff is releasing, where they can buy your stuff, what are the best places for them to look?
Obviously the social media game is rules the world these days.
Yep.
Sacred Leather on Instagram, Sacred Leather on Facebook. It's really easy to find. Our Bandcamp page as well is where we try to push people the most because it's
Uh-huh.
more artist directed, and it's not like Instagram where you're literally competing with the algorithm to just try to get your post noticed.
I've checked out your Instagram, I've checked out your Facebook, and you are very active as you possibly can in that space. Your Bandcamp page does have a great presence. You can get a hold of a ton of your catalog of music. So I would assume that if folks want to learn more or find out when you will be coming to their city, whether it's here in the United
Yes.
States or whether you're across the pond, to follow those socials. Listen, I appreciate the opportunity to get to know you, to get to know the band. I'm going to give you the final word here. Is there anything that you'd like to leave the audience with?
Yeah, just keep your ears to the ground. We just filmed an incredible video for the third single, which is coming out in about a month, and it is going to fucking blow people's minds. So stay tuned for that. Beyond that, just keep tabs on the social media, keep tabs on the Bandcamp page. The record will be out on December 12th, and expect to be hearing a lot more from us once that record drops.
Countdown to December 12th. How many
Yes.
singles do you plan on releasing before the album is out?
There'll be a third, and then that'll take us to home stretch. There'll probably be an early stream of the full record, like the week of the release. But I believe, according to the label, we're just going to do three. That's why we had to make sure, like, with the third one, like, go real big and
Cool.
do another video. It's like kind of the hookiest song on the one of the hookier songs on the record, um, which You talked about Jeff Tate earlier. I think you'll notice a heavy kind of Queensryche influence on this one.
I'm all in on
Uh,
that.
and yeah, we're very very stoked to unleash this video because yeah, again, it's gonna blow people's minds because we've managed to create a video that looks like we had a way insane budget that we didn't really have.
All right. Well,
So yeah,
that is
we're
all.
going very big with this one.
That's all amazing news. We're looking forward to it, and I'm going to keep my fingers crossed that you guys find your way out here to the West Coast.
We will absolutely be out there next year.
All right.
Come hell or high water, we will make it one way or another.
Well, if you party or if you indulge, then I'll owe you one at the bar after the show. If not, we'll toast some other way. And again, Dee Wrathchild, I just want to say thank you. I appreciate your time,
Thank you,
and
Mark.
we will be looking forward to more from you guys very soon.
Sounds good, my brother.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.